Since the Big Bang, the universe has been expanding, and time flows in one direction. If smoke escaped from a cigarette, it could never go back. But if the universe reaches a critical point where the forces of compression exceed the forces of expansion, time might begin to flow in reverse. Nemo knows this because he can see the future before it happens. He sees the future because before Nemo was born, when he was a disembodied spirit, the angels of oblivion forgot to put a finger to his lips so he wouldn't learn his fate. He sees every possible future, down to the smallest detail. And until he makes a choice, all these options are possible. Once Nemo makes his choice, all other realities are cut off. At the end of his journey, Nemo sees himself as a 118-year-old man in a futuristic city, the last of mortals. The rest of humanity has altered their genes to stop aging. And now the whole world is watching him, waiting for him to die live on air. A doctor visits the old man, using hypnosis to make him remember his past, but Nemo constantly becomes confused and disoriented. That night, a journalist sneaks in, hoping to secure a final interview before Nemo's death. The journalist knows a nurse at the hospital, and she shows him into the room. Nemo tells him about his life. Nemo's parents were in love until his father's car accidentally struck and killed his girlfriend. Since then, he became depressed and apathetic, and gradually began to distance himself from his wife. Nemo's mother, fully aware of her husband's indifference, found a new flame. When his parents divorced, Nemo was forced to make a choice, the most difficult choice of his life. This is where the remarkable story of a boy who knows his destiny begins. Nemo realizes he has only two options: catch the train with his mother and leave for the United States, or stay with his father. And both of these paths were united by a single thread: his relationship with Anna, the girl he fell in love with. Nemo's choices are influenced not only by his own desires, but also by chance, like a broken shoelace. Nemo leaves for the United States with his mother. Harry, her lover, also arrives. Nemo realizes they will live together. Harry's daughter, Anna, arrives with him. Nemo has been in love with her since the day he saw her in the pool. Now they are both 15, and they hate their parents for ever wanting to be happy together. Nemo and Anna quickly find common ground. They realize they love each other and can't imagine life without each other. Secretly, they spend nights together and make love when their parents go to work. But their idyll comes to an end. Nemo's mother breaks up with Harry, and he takes Anna to New York. Nemo and Anna vow to always be together and meet at the lighthouse. After leaving, Anna wrote to Nemo, but his mother threw the letters away. Many years have passed since then. Nemo earns money cleaning swimming pools. Returning from work and passing through the train station, he throws change to a beggar. Anna also takes the same route, only a little later. One day, the beggar dies, and Nemo stops to call an ambulance and the police. Because Nemo is late, he runs into Anna. They both can't believe their good fortune. Anna tells Nemo that all these years she waited only for him, turning down every opportunity to find a soulmate. But this now terrifies her. She's afraid of losing Nemo again, so she asks him to give her time to come to terms with the fact that he's back in her life. She gives him her phone number and asks him to call in 2 days to arrange a meeting at the lighthouse. However, a rainstorm washes away the ink on the piece of paper, and Nemo loses Anna's number. Neither 2 days later nor a month later, Anna doesn't show up at the lighthouse. Nemo waits for her there around the clock, and at some point he sees another reality in which Anna comes, and they are together again. If Nemo had stayed with his father and missed that train because of a broken shoelace, his fate would have been one of two. These two fates were Alice and John. After his mother's departure, Nemo's father became a helpless creature, immersed in depression and self-torture. He barely recognizes his son, can't walk or even wash himself without his help. In this environment, Nemo grows up with a withdrawn and unsociable teenager. One day at a disco, he meets Alice. She has just been rejected by Stefan, a handsome college boy. Alice is acting hysterically, but this doesn't put Nemo off. He has become accustomed to his father's unreasonable antics. Alice gives Nemo hope that they can be together, but then she gets back together with Stefan. And at this moment, Nemo's fate forks again. If he persists and wins Alice's heart, he will spend the rest of his life with her. If he gives in, he'll start dating Zhang out of jealousy, simply to get revenge on Alice. Life with Alice, as it turns out, isn't a bed of roses. As she grows older, Alice becomes even more hysterical, mired in endless depressions and nervous breakdowns. However, Nemo and Alice have 3 wonderful children. Nemo loves them dearly, but it's hard for him to bear his wife's despair. One day, Alice realizes she's only ever loved Stefan, that handsome college boy, and therefore she must leave Nemo. Alice holds onto the faint hope that one day she meets Stefan again and they'll be happy. And she does meet him, though she doesn't recognize him. Stefan has grown fat and bloated, no longer resembling the young man from her memories. Zhang and Nemo had an ironclad motivation. He never loved her, but out of revenge and to fill the void inside, Nemo built his career. He vowed to become rich, to have his own house and swimming pool, and he made it all come true. He and Zhang even had children, whom Nemo also ignored. One day, when he was completely fed up with life, Nemo decided to stop making choices. He decided to see what would happen if a coin chose for him. And the coin led him to a hotel room where someone else was supposed to check in, and that person was supposed to be killed. But Nemo was killed instead. No matter what reality Nemo finds himself in, no matter what life he lives, she, Anna, appears. Anna. He met her in a crowd with their 2 children. He saw her at an intersection in a nearby car, but she didn't recognize him. They met at the funeral of Anna's husband, with whom Nemo worked. Their destinies were so intertwined that the universe wouldn't allow them to separate. And every time Nemo saw Anna, he felt déjà vu. In one possible reality, he even flew next to her to Mars. And that day, she told Nemo that she had calculated the exact date and time when the expansion of the universe would reverse and begin to contract. It would happen on February 12, 2092, at 5:50 a.m., and those who lived until that date would be able to live their lives in reverse. When old Nemo told the journalist all this, the journalist decided the old man had simply gone crazy. It couldn't be that all these realities existed, that all these lives had been lived by one person. Then the old man revealed the main secret of his name: nobody or Nemo. It simply doesn't exist yet. There is no old Nemo, no journalist, none of this has happened yet. Everything that happened in Nemo's life is now happening in the head of a boy forced to choose between his father and mother. Initially, the boy couldn't choose one of his parents because he couldn't imagine the consequences. Now, having seen everything, right down to the conversation of his old self as a journalist, little Nemo can't choose because he knows the consequences of either choice. Then Nemo remembers one of the realities in which he and Anna did meet at the lighthouse. He realizes he wants to be only with her, and is willing to do anything for that. Nemo refuses to choose between the options offered to him, mother or father. He chooses the third option, simply running away, refusing any future without Anna. And in the realities he has seen, Anna has always eluded him. Nemo awaits his destiny on a bench by the water. He knows for certain that one day she will come, wake him, and they will be together. And Anna does come. They finally meet and can be together for the rest of their lives. And this choice leads Nemo to a hospital bed in the distant year 2092, where he is the only mortal on the entire planet. He is 118 years old, and the whole world watches as he prepares for death. The inhabitants of the planet held a vote to decide whether to allow Nemo to die or keep him alive artificially. They chose death. Nemo's last words are broadcast on every screen. His heart stops a few seconds before 5:50 a.m. on February 12, 2092. But Nemo doesn't die. The forces of compression outweigh the forces of expansion, and time reverses. The cigarette smoke returns to the cigarette, and the entire world and the people inhabiting it begin to live in reverse. In realities where Nemo died in the accident, he comes to life. Where Nemo lay in a coma, he comes to. He relives the best moments of his life with Anna, when they were young and madly in love. His parents are back together, and he is still a child, carefree, throwing pebbles into the water with little Anna.